Welcome back, focused learners, to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into what is arguably the most monumental shift in the tech landscape today. We're going to unpack exactly why Python has become the absolute undisputed lingua franca, the foundational language of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Because if you've been paying any attention to the tech space lately, you know AI isn't just on the horizon anymore, it's right here.
And Python?
Well, it's the engine driving the whole thing.
But right off the bat, we've got to ask kind of a wild question. How on earth did a programming language named after the British comedy troupe Monty Python end up becoming the brain of the modern AI revolution? I mean, it almost sounds like a joke, right? A language born out of a desire for something quirky and memorable is now literally running the most advanced, complex computational systems on the planet.
It's super fascinating to look at this through the eyes of Python's creator, Guido van Rossum. Back in the day, his only real alternatives were incredibly complex C programming or these completely inadequate shell scripts. So he created Python as this tiny act of rebellion against complex languages. He wanted a 6-letter word that was easy to remember, inherently safer, and just way easier to use than C. As he puts it, he absolutely did not anticipate Python becoming so vital for AI. But that specific focus on a human-friendly design, that planted the seeds for the unstoppable growth we're seeing today.
And the numbers speak for themselves. According to CIT, Python has captured a massive 57% of AI developers' preference. That is a huge slice of the pie. It proves we aren't just looking at some fleeting popularity contest here. We're looking at a rock-solid industry standard. Python is literally the foundation upon which modern AI is being built. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to look at 1, the language, 2, the 5 pillars, 3, real-world impact, and 4, the career imperative. Let's dive in.
Section 1, the language and its special approach to AI demands.
You know, traditional AI development can often feel like you're trying to untangle a massive knot on a heavy anvil. You're dealing with continuous, massive amounts of data and trying to implement incredibly complex mathematical algorithms. It's a lot. Python, however, tackles all that heavy lifting with elegantly simple code. It gives you the exact functionality machines need to learn from data, but, and this is key, without burying the developer in convoluted, messy syntax. Moving to Section 2, the 5 pillars. Let's look at the anatomy of Python's supremacy. We can actually deconstruct Python's dominance into these 5 foundational pillars. It's this unique combination of a massive ecosystem, human-like readability, ultimate flexibility, lightning-fast prototyping speed, and extensive community support that makes Python absolutely essential for machine learning. Let's break these down one by one. For Pillar 1, Python gives you an unparalleled ecosystem of battle-tested libraries. Basically, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you sit down to code. Need to construct deep neural networks? Google's TensorFlow is right there waiting for you. For rapid prototyping of deep learning models, you've got PyTorch and Keras. Handling complex numerical data, NumPy does it in its sleep. Need decision trees or classification? Scikit-learn is your go-to. And for manipulating diverse data types, Pandas is essential. When you're coding in Python, you are quite literally standing on the shoulders of giants. Okay, Pillar 2, readability. Think of Python as your own personal JRVIS from the Iron Man movies. Under the hood, computers only understand binary, ones and zeros, and writing in binary is basically impossible for us. But Python acts as this brilliant translator. It allows data scientists, mathematicians, and domain experts to collaborate using code that reads almost exactly like human language. It effortlessly translates your simple English-like instructions into the complex binary actions the machine needs to execute. It completely democratizes AI development. And the developers of Python go to incredible lengths to protect that elegant syntax. As Van Rossum explained, maintaining stability and backward compatibility is their absolute top priority. To keep the language evolving for really complex tasks like AI, but without breaking millions of lines of old code, they came up with something called soft keywords. These are context-sensitive keywords that let them add new complex statements to the language totally seamlessly. It's a brilliant technical compromise that keeps Python cutting-edge but incredibly stable. Moving right along to Pillar 3, we've got flexibility without compromise. Python simply doesn't box you in. If you're modeling real-world problems and you want to use object-oriented programming, go for it. Prefer functional programming for data transformations? Easy. And here's the best part. If you have performance-critical sections that require raw, blazing computational speed, you can actually seamlessly mix your Python code with C++. You adapt the language to your specific task rather than forcing your project to adapt to the language. For Pillar 4, speed, let's think about how AI actually works in practice. Building AI is inherently iterative. You train a model, you analyze the results, you adjust the parameters, and you repeat, sometimes hundreds or thousands of times. Because Python is an interpreted language, it completely eliminates those lengthy compilation cycles you get stuck with in other languages. You can run this rapid prototyping loop instantly. In time-sensitive projects, that kind of efficiency is just absolutely invaluable. Millions! That brings us to Pillar 5. This represents the millions of developers in the open source community who literally have your back. If you're stuck on a tricky machine learning algorithm, or you're wrestling with a weird data type, someone out there has almost certainly already solved it. Through platforms like GitHub and Stack Overflow, Python provides massive, immediate, and practical support. It ensures the language evolves perfectly in step with what the field actually needs. All right, Section 3, Real-World AI Impact. Let's see Python in action.
The biggest tech giants in the world are leveraging Python for their AI right now, across every industry imaginable. In healthcare, Fathom uses Python for natural language processing to extract critical information from patient records, which saves billions. Over in transportation, Uber's Michelangelo platform analyzes massive amounts of data in real time for their daily ETA predictions. In finance, Robinhood is building massive predictive models for fraud detection. And Skyscanner? They employ Python machine learning to analyze pricing and seasonal patterns for intelligent travel routing. I mean, it is everywhere.
Which leads us to Section 4, the career imperative, future-proofing your skill set. So whether you're looking at machine learning engineering, data science, computer vision, natural language processing, or robotics, ask yourself, what do they all have in common? Python proficiency is practically non-negotiable for every single one of them. Because Python is the common denominator across all these diverse roles, learning it is a massive career multiplier in today's tech-driven world. It's the ultimate point of leverage for your career. But the real beauty of Python is its true accessibility. You don't need a PhD in computer science to get started. You can step onto this path today. First, just master the basic syntax and data types. Then, start exploring those key libraries we talked about earlier, like NumPy and Pandas for data handling. Next, build out a few simple machine learning projects, maybe some decision trees, using scikit-learn. And finally, work your way up to tackling those advanced models for things like image recognition and predictive modeling.
The AI revolution is already here, folks, and Python is undeniably its language. From its quirky comedy origins to its unmatched ecosystem and that incredible human-like readability, it has completely transformed how we interact with data. So as you look toward the future of technology, and more importantly, your own career in it, we're left with one final, very important question to ask ourselves. Can you afford to build AI without it? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, focused learners. Keep exploring, keep questioning.